Blogging has been around since the 90s, and ever since then it has been evolving and changing at an accelerated pace. The word blog comes from a shortening of the word weblog. The weblog of years past was an online journal where a writer might post to their site a couple of times a week or more. Now, the blog has become a robust system of content creation and engagement across multiple platforms, including not only the site itself, but also social media platforms and other sites. Blogging previously focused on consistent and frequent posting, mostly to boost search engine optimization. However, this strategy has largely been abandoned today, with bloggers focusing instead on quality over quantity. A blogger today posts less frequently but writes content that is more highly targeted to their readers and their needs. Awareness is more likely to come from social media shares and other forms of engagement on the part of the audience, rather than reliance on search engines. Bloggers used to grow their readership by interacting with others on the blog platform. They would comment on other blogs, write guest posts, add blogs to their blog roll, and so on. Today, bloggers still use those methods to grow readership, but their tactics have expanded to focus on things like engaging audience members, tagging, liking, sharing, etc. The rise of social media has meant the blurring of lines between social media and blogging. You can blog using social media directly, writing microblog posts on Twitter or longer form content on Facebook. Finally, blogging used to be a hobby or leisure activity, but today it's a viable career. Here are some of the current trends in blogging which are expected to continue into the near future. Post length. Blog posts are increasing in length. They are becoming more substantial and delving deeper into the topics they address. The trend is for quality over quantity, number of posts, and readers expect greater value from what they read. Fewer blog comments. There are increasingly fewer comments on blogging platforms themselves. Instead, readers are interacting with blog content on social media. This means that more bloggers are turning off comments features on their blogs and instead encouraging comments on social media, including using plugins to embed the social comments in their blogs. Graphics and visuals. Blogging isn't about text-based content only. Graphics have always been a part of blogging, and today the quality of graphics is improving greatly. This is partly because bloggers have greater access to professional online graphic software that simplifies the creation of high-quality images. Images can play a role in telling a story by providing context. With a shift to social media, images come in handy because visual content gets more engagement and sharing. Visual content includes high-resolution images, infographics, icons, visual data, and video. Metrics. Metrics used to focus on traffic or page views with the aim of gaining and maintaining as many readers as possible. Today's metrics focus also on data that measure and track engagement. Rather than looking strictly at numbers, as in the past, modern bloggers look more at how readers are interacting with their content. Platforms. Bloggers have always used WordPress and other one-stop blogging platforms that include various built-in features. However, other newer options have arisen over time that are just as easy to use. By the time you complete this course, you'll be able to define your target reader so that you can hone in on the right topics, voice, and writing style. This saves you time and energy while growing your readership. You'll learn how to create a reader profile and identify the hot topics for your target audience. Write captivating and shareable blog posts, which includes planning, drafting, using writing best practices, and exploring the anatomy of top blog posts. Share your blog post with the world in a way that maximizes engagement and put your content in front of as many people in your target market as possible. Identify the best ways to create a sustainable source of income from your blogging efforts. Evolve your blogging practice by implementing tactics for effective blog planning, organization, consistency, and self-motivation. When a blog was just a weblog, bloggers generally wrote for themselves. It was just an online journal, and you wrote about your opinions and personal experiences. If people read your content, it was a bonus. Today, blogging is much more sophisticated and focused on the reader. The foundation of a successful blog is to know your readers well, what they need, and what they expect from you. The number one thing you can do to improve your blog is to research your target audience and define your ideal reader so that you have a clear picture of who you're writing for. The best way to understand your reader is to create a persona or profile. This is a detailed description of your ideal reader, as if they were an individual person. Treating your audience as one individual helps you to identify their most common characteristics. You can then tailor your content to the single person, making it sound more authentic and relevant. If you have segments of your audience that are wildly divergent, you may want to create separate profiles. But the main idea is to look for trends among your readership.
The first step is to define your readers' demographics. Demographics include things like age, geographic location, language, gender, income level, education level, religion, marital status, occupation, family composition, married or unmarried, and number of children. You can discover some of this demographic data by looking at Facebook Insights and other metrics on social media. If you're already getting some traffic to your blog, you can also get data from Google Analytics. For example, if you browse through geography, it'll give you language and location results. Demographics are the hard facts about your reader. Psychographics are their psychological aspects. These include personality, attitudes, values, hobbies, lifestyle, behavior, goals, challenges, image of self, pain points, areas where they're struggling, needs and desires.
Psychographics are harder to discover than demographics. The only way to understand these aspects of your reader is to observe your readers and interact with them. You need to see how they behave and listen to what they say. In addition to understanding your audience's values, attitudes, and other psychological aspects, you also need to understand how they buy and use products, services, or topics like yours. Pay especially close attention to how they interact with products. Here are some questions to ask yourself to reveal this information.
Why would the reader want to know about your product, service, or subject matter? How knowledgeable is the reader about what you have to offer? What common questions does your reader have about your product, service, or subject area? You may be able to glean some psychographic data from metrics, but a better way to get it is by looking at forums or groups. An easy trick is to search for your topic as a keyword, plus forum in Google or Reddit. In addition to reading what your audience members say on these sites, look at what topics or subjects are popular, which are voted up, voted down, liked, commented on, not commented on, and so on. This will give you a good idea of what your audience likes and doesn't like, which will allow you to create content they want to read.
For demographics and psychographics, you can also conduct a survey with your existing subscribers or readers. Create a short survey using a tool like Google Forms or SurveyMonkey. Response rates tend to be low, so you may want to offer an incentive, such as a gift or a discount, for completing the survey. Send your survey out to your subscribers or use an ad network like Facebook ads to target your ideal reader. Finally, once you have collected as much data as you can, talk to a few of your readers to get first-hand knowledge. You can add a question at the end of your survey asking if they'd be willing to chat so you can help them further on your blog. Then schedule a short 20-minute call and ask questions about who they are, their aspirations, challenges, and other open-ended questions that'll give you a more complete understanding. Since you're going to be creating content for your audience's consumption, you should also learn about how they read and engage with the content they like. A few things to consider here are:
how do they search for and find content to consume? What content formats do they like? Video, text, etc. How do they consume content and what do they do with it? Share, comment, etc. What is your audience taste in terms of length and depth of content? A good way to discover this information is to go back to the forums and look at the content that's most popular. Which content gets the most comments or votes? See which topics gets the most engagement. You can also look at social media platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and SlideShare to see which videos, posted links, or other types of content are getting the most engagement. Your current analytics can give you some ideas as well. Analytics allow you to see views, which content is viewed most, and bounce rate, which tells you how long readers are staying on a particular piece of content. Google's Keyword Planner can tell you what types of questions your audience is asking about your topic. This tool is part of Google AdWords, and you have to have a Google account, but it's free to use. From Keyword Planner homepage, select Search for new keywords and add group ideas. Here, enter keywords related to your topics or products, and it'll show you which questions are being asked. Lastly, follow industry influencers and watch how they interact with their audience. You can gain tremendous insights and get ideas this way.
Now, take all of the information you've gathered through the first 3 steps and put it together as a profile of your target reader. You can give each target reader a fictitious name and treat them as individuals. Add a picture or create an avatar to make the image clearer. Let's look at an example, whereafter you can start creating your own ideal blog reader profile in Activity 2. Now that you have a clear idea of who your target audience is and what their interests are, you can start planning what kind of content you will create. Blogging takes planning. Bloggers don't generally sit down each day, wait for inspiration to strike, and then crank out a post. This isn't an efficient way to work, and it doesn't produce high-quality content. Instead, bloggers create lists of ideas, often referred to as idea banks, that they can draw on when it's time to write. They also often set aside special times to write. During these times, they might write a number of blog posts to have on hand so that when it's time to post, they only need to publish the work they've already written. Start by creating a list of topics, taking into account what you know about your audience. Use questions such as these when brainstorming topics.
What do your readers want to know about? What specific questions are they asking or have they asked you? What problems are they facing? What are possible solutions to these problems? What things do you know that they don't, which could help them? What is your audience member searching for when they use Google or social media? What topics are your audience members actively talking about? What kind of content is your audience sharing and commenting on? When you're brainstorming ideas and topics, aim for quantity. Get as many ideas down as possible. Then, go through your list of ideas and topics and prioritize. Put the topics that are most relevant to your readers first. For example, a blogger who writes about living the expat lifestyle might find that her audience is interested in cuisine, learning languages, and coping with the stress of culture shock. But their biggest concerns may be how to move overseas in the first place. If this is the case, this topic should be at the top of your list. Keep in mind as you brainstorm ideas that not all content will be text only. You may also publish videos, infographics, podcast interviews, templates, and any other types of content. Consider keywords. Your potential readers might be finding your blog through search engines, so try to use keywords they might be searching for. For example, work-life balance is a keyword. Try to put your keywords as close to the beginning of the article as possible. This makes it more likely to be found. Use alliteration. Alliteration means using the same letters or sounds. An example of alliteration might be, how to cut your closet clutter. The repeated C sound makes the title catchier. Use strong language. Your title should make bold claims about what the article delivers. For example, you can save the reader 30 minutes of time each day. Use action words and adjectives to make your title stand out. But 2 words of caution. First, make sure that your article actually delivers what the title says it will. Otherwise, your content will look like clickbait. something you're just trying to get people to click on. Second, don't overuse the same word repeatedly. For example, if you use brilliant in every title, this will lead to readers ignoring your claims of brilliance. Keep titles short. Try to make your titles as short as possible without losing the impact. Try to trim it down to under 70 characters. Data from Twitter has shown that headlines between 8 and 12 words get the most shares. On Facebook, the number is 12 to 14. Show your brand personality. Choose words, phrases, and grammar that reflect your brand personality. Make sure that your titles are consistent with your other written content.
Looking again at your reader profile, determine what length your post should be. This varies from topic to topic and from audience to audience. Some audiences consume longer, more in-depth content, while others prefer it to be short. Decide on a length that works for you as well. If you have a topic that is too long or in-depth, you can break it up into 2 posts. You can take a large topic and create a series out of it. Blog series are popular and they keep your audience coming back for more. On the other hand, if your topic is too brief, you can add to it or make it part of another post. Of course, post length doesn't need to be exactly the same each time. You can vary it, writing an unusually long one sometimes or a quick one when it's more convenient. But it's good to aim for some consistency. As you monitor your blog performance, you'll find a sweet spot for article length. When learning about English composition in school, we're taught to start with a basic foundation and then build our argument from there, expanding on points as we go. The opposite approach works best with blogging.
This approach is called the inverted pyramid style because it starts with a conclusion and then fills in the details in the body of the text. This is done in order to gain the reader's attention and offers a sort of a teaser at the beginning to make the reader want to find out more. For example, a journalist might tell the story of a court case by saying, "The judge banged her gavel and the case was concluded. The defendant was guilty." This is likely to make the reader wonder what happened. What did the defendant do? And how did they lose the case? All of this is in the body of the article. This is much more effective than starting with that information at the beginning of the story.
You've probably noticed that blogs rarely have huge blocks of text, like a book or newspaper. Text is broken up to make online content more readable on a variety of devices. There are several ways to do this, including
short paragraphs. Each paragraph should have one main idea and no more than 3 or 4 sentences. Line breaks. Leave ample blank space between paragraphs to make your blog more readable. Images. You can add images to your posts, not only to break up the text, but to make them more visually appealing. Bulleted lists. The bulleted list you're reading right now is easier to read and take in than that if it were written in paragraph form. Bold and alternative fonts. When you have something you'd like to stand out from the other text, make it bold or a different font, but use this sparingly as too much can make your text harder to read. Blank space. Design your blog or choose a template that offers plenty of blank space. Add links to your posts whenever it's appropriate. For example, if you cite another article or discuss another website or blog, turn a word or a few words into a link. You can also link to your own content if you refer back to another post. For example, last week I wrote about networking event that is coming up. Another place to add links is where you mention another blogger. This can have networking advantages. When you mention another blogger and link to them, it's good to let them know you did and why. However, don't push them for a reply, a share, a comment, or reciprocation. That'll happen naturally.
Blogs are written in a friendly or casual tone of voice, like a person you know sending you an email. But this doesn't mean you can let grammar mistakes or misspelling slide. You don't have to do the same type of careful proofreading that editors do for printed material, but you need to make sure it's mistake-free and written in the best way possible. Here are some ways to edit and improve your work.
Always read over your work. It's not enough to just run it through a spell check. Spell check misses things that only the human eye can catch. Before you publish, read through your post and watch out for mistakes. Read your work aloud. This is a good way to see how natural your writing sounds. Your ear may catch something your eyes didn't. Sleep on it and read it again. For bloggers who are very concerned about the quality of their work, or are blogging on delicate or very important topics, they really need to nail what they're trying to say. Sometimes it's best to edit with fresh eyes by setting the finished work aside and coming back to it later. Ask a friend to review it. Another person might catch something that you didn't, and some of us, naturally, are not great editors of our own work. You probably won't have to ask someone to review it every time, but try it for your epic or longer ones.
Once your content is written and published, it's not going to do much good unless you have people reading and engaging with it. Your aim should be to get your content shared, liked, and commented on. Start by updating your social media profiles so that each includes a link to your blog. Include a call to action telling your followers what benefits they can expect from reading your blog. You may even want to add a link to a particular post, something you consider your start year content or your most popular post. Getting people to engage with your blog posts starts with making sure they actually see them. Here are a few ways to make sure your posts get in front of people who would want to read and interact with your content.
Email updates. The people most likely to comment on your blog and engage with your content are email subscribers, so encourage people to provide their email address. One way to do this is through a lead magnet. This is a free giveaway that you offer only to subscribers, and it doesn't cost you anything but time to create. In fact, if you have a great deal of old content lying around, you can repackage it as a lead magnet by tying it together with a certain theme. Go through the content and brush it up. Make sure it's still timely, and do another re-edit. Your lead magnet could be an ebook, a collection of templates, a resource guide, a discount, a free service, free software, or an app. Then, add a link on your blog or social media profiles where people can sign up to get blog updates, along with your free gift, the lead magnet. Send out an automated email to your subscribers whenever you post new content. You can write a quick email message with a link to the new post in the message. This will get them to your blog to see the new content. You can automate this through your autoresponder as a blog broadcast, where you only have to load the message and set up the schedule. The program will do the rest. Share socially. Share the news about your new blog post on all of your social media platforms. Write a short comment about the post, preferably one that tells your readers what the benefit is that they can expect to gain from checking it out.
Once people see your posts, you want them to read and explore, spending a little time on your blog and thinking about what they're learning. Use the following tips to plant the seeds of that engagement.
Be consistent. For posting blog updates, it's good to decide on a frequency that suits your audience. There's a certain sweet spot for each audience and platform. You don't want to post too often, or you'll appear spammy, or your messages will get ignored. On the other hand, if you post too infrequently, you'll fall off the reader's radar. Once or twice a week is generally an ideal frequency. Crosslink. When and where appropriate, relink to old posts on your blog. If you mention a topic you covered in an older post, provide a live link to it in your content to help readers find older content that's relevant to what you're discussing now. Ask questions. A good way to boost engagement is to ask a question at the end of your post. For example, ask what your reader's favorite tool is or how they overcome a specific problem. Make it a question that's easy to answer and you'll get more responses. If you want them to answer the question on social media, send them there, or use a plugin so that their comments show up on your post, and somewhere like Facebook. Once people have read your content, you also want them to share it with the rest of their friends and followers. Make it as easy as possible for your audience to share your content. If you're still using the standard share buttons at the top of your page, consider improving them. One great free app for making it easy to share is the Share app from SumoMe, which allows people to share your content across all social channels. One difference with SumoMe is that the icons float as your readers scroll, so they're visible anywhere on the page. They're also responsive on any device. Include a call to action in your blog social shares. You can add something like "Please RT" at the end of your tweets to encourage more people to share them. It always helps to give a little nudge with the CTA. One strategy for more shares involves using a free tool like Click to Tweet. This tool gives you a piece of code to enter at the end of a piece of text in your content, and when the reader clicks the link, they automatically tweet it as a quote. This is a good way to get your content shared, but use it sparingly. Use it only for your best or most inspirational quotes. Wherever possible and appropriate, mention influencers in your social media campaigns. By mentioning and tagging an influencer who you've quoted in your blog, you're accessing their network, and the people in their network can also share or reshare your content. You can also mention blog commenters on your social channels. This is a good way to interact with your most loyal readers and supporters, and it'll encourage more support from them.
If you find that you enjoy blogging and are good at it, there are several ways to make your blog a source of income. Whether you want to earn a little extra cash from your new hobby, become a full-time blogger as a career, or build a business based on blogging, here are some of the models bloggers use to monetize.
Affiliate marketing is the easiest way to set up a passive income stream, and it can make a decent amount of money. This is a good option for bloggers who don't have their own products to sell. It is not the first option for those who sell their own services, because you'll divert prospects away from purchasing your services. However, it's an excellent add-on stream of income when you recommend resources to your clients.
If you have your own product or service to sell, you can use your blog as a lead generation machine. For example, if you're a freelance web designer, you can write on topics of interest to website owners who might hire you for your services. You don't need to sell your services in your actual blog content, but you can have a sign-up or contact form for those who are interested. The way to do this successfully is to consider your reader's buying process. You then align your content to each stage of the buying process. The stages of the buying process include
Awareness. This is the stage where the customer first becomes aware of your product or service. At this stage, they recognize a problem or pain point, gain a deeper understanding of their needs, and then become aware that there are solutions. Content that addresses this stage helps the reader identify problems and introduces and explains various solutions. Evaluation. At this point, the customer is exploring features and benefits to see how they solve the problem at hand. They're looking for more detailed information on the solution. They also may be evaluating testimonials and reviews. You can create content that educates the customer about the product and its solutions. Purchase. This is the stage where the person is ready to make a purchase, and this is where you can make an offer. At this stage, the customer is looking for free trials, discounts, or other special offers.
The best blog posts speak to the problems the reader faces. These are the problems they are seeking to solve by searching the internet. You need to know at which stage your customer is, so that you can respond with the right kind of content. There are 4 steps to making money by selling to your readers directly through your blog. These match up with the reader's buying process.
Write content that provides value and generates engagement from other readers. Follow the steps in the previous section and promote your content on social media. Convert your visitors to subscribers. As we mentioned, also in the previous section, put a clear call to action on your website with a high value offer and get visitors to sign up. Once subscribed to your blog or email list, you can build a relationship with them. The incentive can be a lead magnet. This is a small information product you use as an enticement to get readers to sign up. The lead magnet is only available to subscribers and should directly address your readers' pain points. Send your subscribers content to build trust. Offer high-value content that's exclusive to subscribers. Create a schedule for sending out emails. I've included an example of such a schedule under the resources for this lecture. Sell multiple products or services your audience wants to buy. You can sell multiple products or services through your blog, but the strategies for doing so are different. A good way to sell multiple products is to start with your highest priced products first. This is called a reverse funnel. Okay, so the overall strategy is to blog about the specific problems your audience faces. Get them to sign up for your email list, build a relationship with them there, and finally lead them to a recommendation for paid products. But you're going to start with your most expensive offering first. The idea behind offering the highest priced products first is the Pareto principle, which states that 80% of your results will come from 20% of your efforts. In other words, most of your revenue will come from a small customer base, so it's best to focus on the few customers who will account for the bulk of your income. For example, if you have 100 subscribers, there may be between 2 and 20 of them that will buy high-priced items. As you focus on the highest ticket items, you'll also sell lower ticket items to your other customers along the way. If you're going to take this approach and focus on high-priced product, you need to make this product as valuable as possible for your target market. Look at the products you offer and figure out a way to add value to them. For example, if you're a business consultant offering a consulting package for $10,000, guarantee the client a specific outcome. You could guarantee that your client will save $15,000 over time by investing $10,000.
Another strategy is to sell products through free webinars. Offer exclusive free webinars to your subscribers where you give them high-value training or other information. During the webinar, you can also pitch your high-value product. If you design it well, your webinar can offer a taste of the quality of your premium products, which could be coaching calls, membership sites, consulting, coaching programs, or online courses. Once your blog is well established and you have a social media following, you can generate even more income by blogging for clients. You can get writing gigs as a ghostwriter or as a guest or anchor blogger. Once you're actively blogging, you may also get approached by companies to write for them. You can then earn extra money by blogging or make it a full-time thing if you enjoy it. When you blog for a living, the size of your audience is your main selling point. Your skills as a writer and expertise in your area are also important, but clients will hire you not only because you write good content, but because you have a big audience. Whenever you post content on their blog or website, you'll also post on social media and bring people there. One thing to watch out for with blogging is companies that want to hire you to pitch their products. This is dangerous because you can lose the credibility you've accumulated with your audience by appearing like a salesperson. Until now, you've offered high-value information that helps your audience solve its problems. You're an expert and a trusted friend. If suddenly you begin pushing products just for payment, your reputation will get damaged. Your reputation is everything as a blogger, so make sure you only take jobs where they allow you to give honest, balanced reviews. If you choose to promote products that you actually like and use, and that you think your readers would like, be transparent about it. Tell your readers that you're receiving payment for your review. This is not the case with ghostwriting. If you choose to pick up ghostwriting gigs, your name will not appear on them. Your social media following is not so important and what you write won't affect your brand. However, ghostwriting tends to pay less than writing under your own name and brand.
Putting ads on your blog is another method of monetization, but it should be your last option. The reason is that you'll earn more with the above monetization tactics than through ads. Only consider ads if you have no other products to sell or aren't interested in the blogging for pay and affiliate options. This could also be a good option if you're just getting started and want to make a little money while you explore other monetization ideas.
When using ads, the main predictor of success is the size of your readership. It's a simple numbers game. The more eyes you have on your blog, the more people will click on your advertisements. It takes, on average, 3 years to create a profitable blog, so be patient. Focus at the beginning on building your brand and building relationships with your readers. You'll eventually grow your blog as an extension of your business and brand, and then you'll be able to monetize. Blogging requires consistent effort on your part to keep producing quality content that you can share with your audience. In order to do this, there are certain behaviors and strategies that you should cultivate and practice. In this section, we'll look at different strategies you can employ But one universal tip that applies to any blogger is that you have to write a great deal. The more you write, the better and faster you'll get. If you find writing arduous, it'll get easier the more you do it. Dedicate time to researching, writing, and editing without worrying about the outcome. Think of it as a skill you're learning and honing. Another universal tip is that consistency counts. Consistency is important for posting on a regular basis, but it's also important for your writing skills. If you set aside a little time each day for writing, you'll see a great deal of improvement quickly. It's a bit like exercise to train your body. Daily writing trains your brain to write.
Create a goal to write a certain amount per day. For example, commit yourself to writing at least 1,000 words per day. Set a daily goal that's realistically achievable, but don't be afraid to push yourself a bit. Whatever your goal, make sure you're consistent with it. You can also use your ideal post length and commit to a certain number of posts per week. For example, if you want to set a goal of 200 words per day, you can commit to publishing 2 500-word posts per week. As the old saying goes, it's easier said than done. In order to achieve the goal you set, you have to keep yourself accountable. Sometimes, this is hard to do by yourself. You can enlist the help of a blogging partner, friend, or family member. The two of you must discuss your goals and then check in once a week or at a pre-arranged and regular intervals to see if you're both sticking to your plan. Another idea is to tell your social media followers what you're doing. Post to your wall that you've set a goal and then report about it. You'll have to be accountable to everyone you know on social media. You can also use an app or software program that helps you create habits and track progress. One example is Coach.me, which has a free habit tracker.
In order to blog consistently, you need to establish a process and create a schedule. List the specific tasks you need to accomplish each week and estimate the time it'll take to perform each. You can create the same type of process for any related content, such as your lead magnets. This allows you to continue working on your blog posts while also taking on other projects at the same time. Be careful that your process does not include non-writing tasks, such as creating a marketing strategy or monitoring your efforts. All tasks should be focused solely on writing and publishing. You may want to turn off social media and email during your writing time. It's best to create an environment with as little distraction as possible. Most people only use online calendars to keep track of meetings or appointments. Highly organized people use this valuable tool for everything. Your calendar shows you visually what you need to do day by day and week by week. It also keeps you honest. Your calendar gives you a complete snapshot of how you spend your time. In the attached sample task list, there are about 7 hours of work. These 7 hours should be distributed over the week. If you work on your blog for 1 hour per day, you might make it 2 hours on Monday and Friday because you have work Tuesday through Thursday. Or you can split the work into a regular 1.5 hours per day. Choose according to what works best for your schedule. Next, decide when you will work. For many people, morning is the most productive and best time for writing. Even if you're not a morning person, you may feel freshest in the morning, and this might be the optimal time to use your brain power. Also choose a blogging time when there are the least distractions. For example, before the kids come home from school. You might choose to break up your tasks into different times of day. For example, you might find that you have better brainstorming sessions at night when all your other work is done, whereas the best time for the actual writing and editing is the morning. If you're diligent and continue to work on honing your craft, you'll soon find out what works best for you.
It's scientifically proven that a healthy diet increases productivity. Plan your diet well to optimize your productivity. For example, you may find that you're most productive at your second cup of coffee, or you may feel that you're more productive if you eat a light breakfast, or just fruit and yogurt. Find out what works best for you and plan accordingly. Choose the right length of time after waking up to get started writing. You might feel that you're best at working as soon as you wake up. On the other hand, you may feel that it's best to have a cup of coffee, watch a little TV, and do some light exercise first. Decide on how long after waking up you'll start and stick to that time. When you work for any serious length of time, take short breaks to re-energize. When you take a break, be sure to physically get up from the computer. You may want to stretch or do some housework or other activity to clear your mind so you can refresh. You'll find it much easier to focus when you sit back down to work again, and it's also better for your body. In addition to developing good blogging strategies, it's also good to develop good reading habits. Reading informs a person's writing. Get into the routine of reading blogs, websites, and news. Subscribe to your favorite blogs. A good way to put it all together and save time is to use an app that lets you put all of the blogs and sites you read in one place, such as Flipboard or Feedly. Schedule time to read each day to keep in touch with what's happening in your niche or industry. You can also use tools like Evernote to keep track of your brainstorming. Whether you brainstorm on paper or maintain a list on an app or your smartphone's notes, keep your list somewhere consistent. Another trick that helps with brainstorming is to sign up for Google Alerts for keywords related to the content that you create.
Now, you're ready to take blogging to the mastery level with the strategies you've learned in this course. Here's what you've learned.
How to discover and define your target reader so that you can tailor your topics, writing style, and voice for them. Strategies for writing captivating and shareable blog posts, which includes planning, drafting, and writing the best blog posts possible. How to share your blog posts with the world and maximize engagement to reach your target market. Various monetization strategies to earn pocket money for a full-time living from your blogging efforts. Tricks and techniques for effectively planning, organizing, and staying on track.
With blogging, you need to invest a great deal of time before you can reap the rewards. Remember that it can take a few years before your blog builds its readership to the extent that it can earn money. Make sure you're prepared for this time investment. Now, take your action plan with the tasks and deadlines and take the next steps. Lastly, I'd like to thank you for joining me in this course and wish you all the best in your future business and blogging endeavors. From us here at MindMaker, it's goodbye for now. We hope to see you again soon.